What's up guys, what is 10 years for you? 10 years can be a child and he already go to school. In 10 years you can get a secondary education. Also 10 years ago a Burj Khalifa was built. About 10 years ago The Walking Dead came out. But when I took this iPhone I couldn't think that it was 10 years ago. Yeah, this device was introduced in 2012 and this device was bought at the start of the sales and like wine it got better with years. I have no desire to sell it or throw it away. After all, this device exudes a lot of emotions and I like this device. Most of the time he lay idle in the box and only occasionally I looked him, turned it on and admired. But a week ago I decided to completely abandon the use of my own device, iPhone 11, and take this iPhone 5. And now I'm ready to share with you with my own emotions, what I like and what I didn't, and I won't detain you any longer. Let's go! And so, I wake up and realize that this day has come, when I will take another device for the first time in a year. And I understand this because the alarm went off and I heard it, but I was on the verge of oversleeping my studies, all due to the fact that the speaker is quiet here. Of course, not very quiet, but still much weaker than at 11. Okay, somehow I got out of bed and went to have a breakfast. For the record, I took my iPhone off charge at 9 AM. It was 100%. A delicious breakfast was waiting me in the kitchen, and of course, like many others, I cannot start breakfast without watching YouTube. And what about YouTube? It's downloaded, by the way. With the installation of applications, everything is not very good here. What do I mean by not very? Yes, just not all applications are installed, and if they are installed, then only old versions. Subway Surf and Telegrams have new versions. Well, what's up with YouTube? It downloaded, and the first time I tried to run it, it crashed. After several attempts to open YouTube again, it finally opened, but didn't not show anything, and it doesn't matter. YouTube can be viewed in the browser. Or not? Well, first of all, it's not even buggy. Well, then there are secondary factors such as a small screen and weak sound, but there is nothing to be done here. Okay, somehow I watch YouTube. Without it I can't eat anymore, and I started going to university. Today I have a test work, so this iPhone will be more than very useful. So I got dressed, and out of habit I wanted to check if my Apple Watch of the 3rd series were connected. But even here everything is not simple. It turns out that my watch doesn't connect to this phone. I'm so surprised because before that my 0 series Apple Watch was quietly connected and all functions worked. And then it turns out that the 3rd series is compatible with iPhone starting with iPhone 6s. But I wasn't particularly upset because connecting Apple Watch is still a pain. Anyway, I would not unplug it from my main device. But since I have already opened the control center, I will turn off the Wi-Fi just in case so that the iPhone is less discharged. Well, I went outside. Firstly, it's unusual for me that I have an absolutely unusual device in my pants pocket. Not a huge and heavy iPhone 11, but a weightless little device. And secondly, I still continue to listen to music, even with a different device. By the way, there are no problems with this, as I listened in the Telegram and continue. But with the connection of my AirPods Pro, there were problems. Firstly, there is no animations. Secondly, the iPhone doesn't understand that these are headphones from the Apple and shows that this is the just Bluetooth device. There is also no way to switch modes directly from the iPhone itself, but everything is controlled from the AirPods themselves. So there are no problems. The sound quality reproduced in the headphones, it seems to me the little worse than the iPhone 11, but maybe it seems to me. The only annoying thing is that the music doesn't pause when you take one AirPod out of ear. And so I sit on the bike, and this time I cannot to put the iPhone in my backpack, but leave it right in my jacket, since it will not interfere with me when riding. In general, when I arrived at university, I looked at my iPhone and realized that today would be a fun day at school. Today I decided not to take a MacBook with me, and therefore I used an iPhone. And this had a little effect on the battery, but it doesn't matter, I have a power bank with me. Without this dropper, I would have finished the experiment long ago. Well, about the test work, I thought that I was the smartest and I could easily find find all the information on such a small device and not even fail. But how wrong I was. I don't have the latest minutes in my hands, not an iPhone from the 2016, but a 10-year-old device. Therefore, he puffed up for a very long time to open the site. But in general, if the request was right in the answer of Google, then there were no problems. It was also in this day at the break that I wanted to play some games on my iPhone, but I had little choice. From what I know, I only downloaded Subway Surf, and to my surprise, it worked just perfect. For 10 minutes of the game, there were no freezes or lags. Of course, I don't know how the device would behave at a higher character speed, but my break is only 10 minutes, so that's a plus for the old man. In general, for the entire university day, this is 4.5 hours. I spent 40%, and this is provided that the battery was replaced here about 2 years ago. I think this is not bad, and it will last one working day. The only weakness of this device is the cold weather. Here it is discharged from it almost instantly. In winter, it is almost impossible to use this device normally. And by the way, while I am on the street, I'll show that his miniature body is still a plus. Right after school, I went for a run, and I just ran with him in my arms, listening to music directly from his speakers. It fits easily in my hand, and I am not afraid that it will fall out. It is convenient to put it in your pocket, and it does not delay at all. Since I don't have an Apple Watch right now, I turned off the silent mode for the first time, cause I wouldn't want to miss a call, and as a result I never miss them. The vibration is powerful here. Sometimes it seems that it can harm the old insides of the iPhone. There are no complaints about the quality of the conversational speaker. It was often cleaned, like the microphone, so I perfectly heard the interlocutor as well as he heard me. By the way, I suggested you listen to the sound of this iPhone in comparison with the MacBook Air. I just didn't have another smartphone at hand. While I was on the street, and we are now at the end of the spring, I noticed that I don't feel discomfort when viewing content through this screen. I want to say that it is surprising that on a bright sunny day, the brightness of the display is enough for me, but in the summer I think it will not be so comfortable, because my 11 iPhone cannot cope with the summer sun. And since this is the first video you don't know that I really love taking pictures, let me show you some pictures, and just a few shots from 11 and 13 Pro Max. In general, the day is coming to an end. It's already sunset, and I went to the river to take the last couple of pictures. Yes, I love taking pictures. In general, I can say for the camera that it is quite good for a 10-year-old smartphone. Let's sum up. The week with this device was extremely mixed. Meow. Cat, can you go? Oh, it's a beautiful cat. He likes this iPhone. Firstly, this size. It is very convenient to use. With my one hand I can use this very easily. But at the same time, its size really annoyed me when I want to read or something to type. It would be possible not to talk about power, but no, I have dog. There are dog. Bruh. But no, I have something to say. Apple managed to make it so that 10 years later it pretty fast. Yes, some programs can be run for 20 seconds, but at the same time they are not unloaded for a long time. I was even able to play, which I even expected at all. And back on my main device, I can only praise the fifth iPhone. It caused me more positive emotions than bad ones. Thank you all for watching, please like and subscribe. With you was Minimalist. Goodbye.